Hey y'all, so welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 1, episode 8, and it was titled Hot Tub Confessions. Alright, so if y'all watched my Hey Y'all video, in there I was talking like it was Wednesday, like today was actually Wednesday. I forgot that today was Thursday and not Wednesday because I kept saying, well, if Real Housewives of Salt Lake City comes on tonight, I'll go ahead and record it tomorrow. Child, ignored it. It came on last night, and today is Thursday, so here I am recording it. Before we get into the show, though, if y'all are watching this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. This episode wasn't a lot going on. So this will be like a quick video. It probably maybe like 15 minutes or something like that, because it really was not a lot going on in this video. I mean, this episode. We see it open up with Mary. She's talking to her son on like FaceTime or whatever, and she's asking him about when he makes purchases for his girlfriend. He makes it on her credit card or something like that because he brought her the Prada purse, and she checked her receipts, and sure enough that purse was on there. And she was like, look, you can't be buying these extravagant gifts and stuff because that purse is going to outlast your relationship. I'm like, that's mean, but that's how she feel. And I'm like, I'm with her too. Like, if you're going to buy some extravagant gift or whatever for your lady, you need to be using your own money, partner. But anyway, she was talking about that with him. We see Whitney. She was out with her husband. She's talking about she going to slide on his pole later on that night. And then we see Jen. She's talking to her children. Her youngest child was sick. And then we saw Heather. So Heather is opening up another spot. I'm not sure if she's going to have 2 locations or if she's going to be moving that one location into the bigger area or whatever. But the bigger area is under construction and stuff. And Travis, he's the contractor. He got everything under control. She said it's going to be like 10 times the size of her current building. That's why I didn't know if she was closing that one and just moving everything to that one or keeping both locations open. So I guess we'll find out when she do the grand opening, because you know that's going to be one of the episodes. And she was saying like how she's happy that she kept her business, how she kept doing like little side gigs on the side because it was helping her keep up with her skills and feel independent, even though her husband was pretty much like, why are you doing that? You make it $400 a week. It's not bringing in nothing. Like, that we got limitless money or whatever, don't do that. But she kept doing it, and I'm glad she did, because if she didn't, I mean, I'm sure he's paying like alimony or something like that, but she wants to make her own money. And if she stopped doing her side gigs and stuff like that, she would be right now trying to figure out what she's going to do with her life and not have no career and yada yada yada. So I'm glad she continued on her journey and did them side gigs for herself. We see Meredith talking to her son Brooks on the phone, talking about Seth is coming in for a snowmobiling with like the other couples and stuff. And Brooks is like, oh, And I was with him, like, how you gonna come in to go snowboarding, but you not snowboarding, going snowmobiling, but you can't come to my fashion show? Yeah, no. So Seth comes in while she on the phone, so she's like, oh, hey Brooks, look who's here or whatever. And Brooks like, okay, it's nice that you didn't come to my fashion show or whatever. He was like, I'm sorry, I told you I was sorry and stuff like that, and that's the reason why, and yada yada yada. So they hang up with Brooks, and Meredith is like, look, you really need to apologize to him about not showing up because he's still upset about that. And he was like, but you know why I wasn't there and stuff. And she's talking to him about, yeah, but he was really, upset about that. And then she was telling us how she felt guilty and whatnot. But she told us this last episode, so that's why I'm kind of like breezing through it. But then this episode, she and Seth basically told us that they are working on getting back together. She missed him. She wished that he was at the fashion show. She realized that them being apart, she wanted them to be together. And this was the first time. I guess they've been separated a couple other times, but they weren't really separated. They were kind of still in communication, still talking to each other and stuff like that. Child. But so they weren't really like separated. They were still talking. Maybe they were in different houses, but they were still talking or whatever. So she was saying like them actually not talking to each other during this time period has made her want to miss him. Like she realized that she wants him in her life, and he was saying the same thing. Like he realized that he missed her, that he wants to work on a relationship, and whatever effort she's putting in to the relationship, he's going to do that tenfold. So they are, trying to work on getting back together, rebuilding their relationship back up. He was taking accountability for what he failed as a husband, and I think she said what she did wrong. I'm not sure, but like both parties had to play a part in the demise of their relationship, and not just one person more over the other person. So they both are taking accountability for their role in a relationship and what they could have done better, and they're going to come together and work on their relationship, which I think is great. So she was saying like she's going to stay on a positive path and so forth, and he was saying like he was so career focused he didn't do the things right as a husband. So she appreciated him, saying all that good stuff. So it's going to be 2.0 and all that good stuff. Then we see Lisa and her husband. So he take her out to dinner or whatever. She late. Who knows what she was doing, but she late. So he want to talk about how they see each other every day, they work together every day, but they don't make time for each other. So basically they just do business type stuff together. Not, he was saying like it's the business, it's the kids, and then they all the way down here. And even with them, even in their time, they still try to do stuff with the kids because they can't spend a lot of time with the children because of their working all the time. So he was basically saying like we need to put up some rules. Like if somebody emails you from the job at 11 o'clock at night, you can take care of that email in the next day. Or if somebody calls you or something like that, unless it's an emergency, that you need to like put them on pause until the next day. Like after Sundance, it need to be kind of slowed down. Like he was saying like we need to work on ways to stop working so hard or whatever. But her, she on her $1 billion or $1 million road. I think $1 billion she said. So we know Lisa, she probably not going to slow down. But if she want her relationship to last, then she needs to slow down, because this is what he's telling her. And then we see later on when he was talking to the other husbands how he's really feeling and stuff. So she needs to slow down and listen to this man, because this man is telling you like, look, I need quality time, I need attention, I need all of these things. And she worried about making that $1 billion. Like, girl, what is it? Your husband, your family, or that $1 billion? What's gonna keep you warmer at night? Think about it, girl. Anyway, we see Whitney, she with her husband. Everybody was with that booze. So Whitney, she was with her husband, and they're going to see the dad, because the dad called her SOS talking about, I'm about to get a roommate, I'm not with this, he freaking out or whatever. So they going to the sober living place to kind of talk to him. So they get there and he's like, it's good to have my family here, I usually don't be in the family room and so forth. So Whitney kind of, you could see on her face, she kind of felt like, well dang, what he trying to say? But they're talking and she's like, well, what is going, because he was like, I was about to get a roommate. I said from the get-go, I could not do a roommate. I'm not comfortable with a roommate being here. This is not what it's about or whatever. And so she's like, well, what's the issue? Like, what's the problem or whatever? And he was saying, like, he just wants to be on his own. He wants to get out. He wants to make a career, rebuild his career, basically, because he was a salon owner, a fabulous hairdresser, all this other stuff. So he wants to get back to that. He wants to be productive. So she like, well, you need to stay here. Like, this is where you need to be. And before they got there, the husband and Whitney was talking like, this is what we need to let him know, that he needs to stay here. He needs to stay in the sober living places. This is the best place for him. So, what happened, child? Oh, so she was telling them like, well, how are you going to get from here to opening up a salon and stuff? Like, there's pathways, there's plans, money, like all this stuff. And then she tells us in her confessional, she tells us that when he first was going to rehab and stuff, he wanted her to pay for it. And this man, he tallied up a $30,000 tally of all the things that he did for her when she was born up until now, she said he even threw in a paid ticket that he had to pay, dance classes, grocery bills. I said, "Are you serious?" And she was like, "I was just basically like F you," but she still ended up paying for it. So he is dependent on her, and she doesn't want to be his enabler anymore. She doesn't want to be basically his mama or his spouse. She don't want to pay for stuff like that. She want him to do it on his own. So that's what she basically told him. She like, it's a burden on me and my family to keep doing these things for you. Like, I want to help you, but I want you to be productive when I do help you and stuff. So he understood that. He said, she was like, well, we need to figure out a way to help you get a job, help you make money while you're in here. So when you get out of here, like, remember, stay in here, but when you get out of here, then you'll be able to start on your journey, get an apartment and stuff like that. And he was like, okay, because I want to be in y'all life and stuff. And the husband was like, yeah, you need to be for your grandkids and stuff. And he was like, not to sound cliche or nothing like that, but y'all saved my life. So any way that I can figure out how to be productive and not be a burden to y'all, I will do. And that was good. So that was good for them. That was pretty much it for them. Then we see everybody snowmobiling. So all the couples are there except for Mary and her husband. Heather is there by herself. So it was a good time. They were snowboarding. I keep saying snowboarding. Snowmobiling. That looked fun. It looked basically like ATVs but on snow. I would do it. It looks fun. I don't know if I would ride myself because, but I think I would be open to getting on a snowmobile and just having a good ass time with whoever or whatever like that. So, look, long as the instructor driving me or something, because I don't know if I would feel secure enough in myself to be driving on a snowmobile by myself. But I mean, who knows? I could be Heather out there in the damn thing. But look, as long as somebody driving me, I'm gonna be alright. But I would do it. It looked fun. Anybody else snowmobile? Put it down in the comments if y'all did. It was fun. What else? They was all having a good time. Who fell over? Justin and Whitney fell over, and I think Meredith. Did Meredith and Seth fall over? I think Meredith, yeah, except that Meredith, they fell over or whatever. So, but everybody else, they had a good time. I mean, all in all, they was all laughing and joking. And Heather was like, they probably feel like, what'd she say? They probably feel sad for me because I'm alone or whatever. But just like sex, sometimes it's more fulfilling when you do it by yourself. I said, ooh. I was like, I like Heather. But sometimes you need, that companion and stuff like that. Sometimes you don't want to be the one-man band, doing everything. But at any rate, this ain't about all that. But at any rate, they had a good time. So then they got off the snowmobiles. When they got to a certain point on the mountain or whatever, then the instructors had like a little fire pit. And then they was just sitting around there talking and stuff. And then Sharif was telling us more about Jen, how they met in college, and how he invited her out on a date. And she was like, okay, well, my girls, they all travel with me or whatever. He said 41 people. I said it couldn't have been that many people, because I'd have been like, girl, you on your own. But he said it was like 41 people going to the club with them. And then he was like, well, you want to go out to eat? And she was like, yeah, all of us hungry or whatever. I said, he must have really, really, really liked her. But he said it was worth it, and he'd been married to her for a long ass time. What, their oldest is 24, so 24 years. That's a long time. But he said she's still sweet. The first thing that brought me to her attention, or my attention to her, was that she's sweet. They was like, do you know your wife? I was cracking up. And then of course Bravo had to play the clip, so when she was being a bitch or whatever, I was just like, Lord. But they was talking about that. And what else? And then after what's the face? Jen invited the couples back to her house and stuff, because Sharif said he was in town for like that day or whatever. And they was like, you sure? It ain't gonna mess up your mojo. He was like, oh no, that's gonna go down. Oh, okay, that's gonna go down. But y'all can come over and eat something, then y'all can leave so we can go down. I was like, Lord. But at the end, when everybody's piling up, because Whitney and Justin said they couldn't go, and Heather said she couldn't go, so the other people were gonna go. At the end, when they was all bagging up and stuff like that and leaving, Whitney pulled Heather to the side and was like, I'm confused about Meredith and Seth, because she was saying, like, Jen told me the other day that Meredith may have been with some other dude or whatever, but now they all hugged up. And Jen, in the beginning, before they got on the snowmobiles and stuff, she was saying she was confused at how Seth and Meredith was all lovey-dovey and stuff, and how Seth came to the snowmobiling but he didn't go to the fashion show, and then Whitney was confused and stuff like that. So now Whitney telling Heather that she confused, and then Heather was basically like, look, I'm not getting into that. That's not my business. If that's what they want to do or whatever, I'm not, I'm gonna mind my business on it or whatever. And I appreciate that, because, like, why are you worried about if they're they're acting like they're perfect or whatever? Like, why is that your business? That's why some people don't like to tell their business and stuff like that. And I look, it's over 15 minutes. And I say that people shouldn't tell their business to other people, because the simple fact is, if something goes wrong in your relationship and then you go tell that person, but then you want to go back to that person, the other people looking at you like, well, then you say X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. Who cares? Like, if that person wants to go back to that person and be with that person for whatever reason, let them be with that person. Like, why does that affect you, and why is that your business? So I really appreciated Heather, she said, like, look, that's not my business. And when Jen told me, I was kind of like, why? Because she said Jen showed her pictures of some dude that with Meredith was with some dude and stuff like that. And even Heather was like, look, don't spread that around. Don't say all that. Like, just leave it alone and stuff. So then she's like, Jen obviously didn't keep to that promise, and she out here telling people about stuff. So I was just like, Jen doing too much. She need to be worried about her own goddamn marriage, because that ain't even on solid ground. So why are you worried about somebody else's marriage? Like, so you so lonely and miserable that you want to bring all this static to Meredith and Seth's relationship? They got enough going on without you trying to throw in some more salt into the damn pot. Like, girl, leave it alone or whatever. So we back at Jen's place, and they're just talking, and Seth was comparing, like, the Muslim religion with Mormons to see, like, who had the more restrictions and stuff. And it seemed like the Mormons had more restrictions, like the Muslims, no pork, no alcohol. I didn't know they couldn't drink alcohol. Never mind. No pork, no alcohol. What's it? Something else? Oh, they can drink coffee and smoke. And it was something else. I thought I wrote it down, but I guess I didn't. And then it was like multiple marriages or whatever. It's still permissible in the Muslim religion. But in the Mormons, they can't drink. Oh, no, it was no sex before marriage. That's what it was. And then, so in the Mormon, they can't drink alcohol, no cigarettes, no drugs, no tobacco, no caffeine. I don't know about pork, but they're multiple marriages and stuff is not permissible, but some people still do it. And no sex before marriage. So they got like a lot of different rules and stuff like that. And so then I think it was either Sharif or Seth who asked Lisa, like, well, Sharif, is there a rule about Mormons selling liquor and stuff? So Lisa like, well, I'm not in the culture of Mormon, so I think it's just personal and yada yada yada. And so Jim was like, that's just Lisa's church, because that ain't how nothing about the Mormons is. When I grew up, that was nothing what they was talking about. They was saying no. She'd have made up her own church. That's her own thing or whatever. And the husband, of course, he was backing up Lisa or whatever. So they got their own thing going on. So then the ladies, they go in the hot tub. The men, they go upstairs, play some little game. And the men are talking and the women are talking. Jen was basically saying like she lonely, and then her youngest son, when he goes off to college, is really going to hit her, because she'll really be lonely and in that big house by herself. But she got her whole entourage, but still, it's not her husband, it's not her kids and nothing like that, so she'll be lonely. She was saying like she real effed up. And then Lisa was saying how they don't make time for the family and stuff like that. And then Meredith was trying to give them some advice, like, well, maybe y'all should travel together when you go on certain jobs and then he go on certain jobs. She was like, I tried that, but he can't. And so Meredith was like, well, you need to kind of communicate and share and don't let it build up to where you blowing up and stuff like that. Just communicate in real time. So she was giving that advice. And then they was asking her, like, you know, so how you and Seth doing or whatever. And Meredith is trying to keep it real low key. And I don't blame her, especially in this circle, especially with Jen, because she can't keep her mouth closed. And you too busy giving information about somebody else's relationship, but you... So, she was just basically like, Meredith was basically like, we on a positive motion and on a positive road and stuff like that. So she really wasn't giving a lot. And she said in her confessionals that she's confident in the fact that her and Seth will be able to work out their relationship and move into a more positive, loving manner and stuff like that. But she's not too positive enough to tell the people. And I don't blame her. Again, that's her business, and she can choose what to tell them about her relationship and not about her relationship. So, like, Jen need to go on about her business. Talking about, I thought because I shared with her that she would share with me and yada yada yada. She not that close with you, boo, and you talk too much. And so with the guys was having the same issue. Sharif was saying like he not there a lot, and when she travels, he travels because recruiting is all year round. And she gets upset because he's not home enough and stuff like that. And he's like, well, when I'm home, you not home. So, like, it's the double standard for me. So, he was just like, if it was the fact that when I'm home, I'm not paying you enough attention, I could float with that. But you not saying that. So, like, come on now. And so then Seth was saying, like, what's Seth say? I forgot what Seth said, but he said something about basically the absence makes the heart grow fonder, something like that. And then what's that man's name? Lisa's husband, I can't think of his name. He was saying how they don't make enough time for each other, and even though they spend a lot of time together, it's not quality time. They're not spending that good time together or whatever. And she asked him to take her to the store to buy a Diet Coke, but because it's like, okay, we spending time together, but you on your phone sending messages and stuff like that, that's not quality time. So they are both yearning for stuff. And then in the hot tub, I thought it was crazy because she was saying like she expects stuff to give her love, affection, all this other stuff. That's what she expects from him. And I'm thinking to myself, but Lisa, what you giving him? Because you're not giving him, what are you giving him? Like, that shit works equal ways. Like, you want him to do all this stuff for you, but what you doing for him, boo? Girl, you better get a grip on that. For he do like and you is not gonna be happy with that. So I hope they all work it out. This was like a cute little episode. Next week we're gonna see Jen go off the handle, throwing glasses and all that other crap, child. Ooh, Lord. Yeah, because this next Wednesday. So tomorrow, well, today is New Year's Eve, so I don't think I have a video until Sunday. So I'm gonna just wish everyone a happy 2021. Remember to shout Jumanji and not Happy New Year at the end of 2021 so we can end this level of the game. I hope everyone is safe, and if you are not subscribed to this channel but you are watching this review recap, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. I think that is it. Watch, there's going to be something else that I want to say after I get off this damn video, but I'll just say it in the next one. But anyway, y'all take care, be safe, be blessed, and until next time, peace.